Okay, Tony down here at Green's Motorcycle Salvage again, and today we have a 2007 Honda VTX 1300. It has been it's an original bike. Does have a clean title. Has, as you can see, the leather billeted saddlebags. Of course, it's the V-twin. It's a Honda. It's a smooth running bike. It is also a powerful mid-sized cruiser, I guess you would call it, or it's a small big cruiser, depending on how you look at things. It does have the heel toe shifter, has the highway bars on it already, has your big brake pedal there, and as you can see over here, got your heel toe shifter, so you can get that powerful feeling, slamming it into third, hitting it up and down shifting. I actually feel like you're doing something with it instead of just that minor little click, click, click like you do on a lot of bikes. It has the big hood. That's the hooded headlight. That's been the signature of the VTXs. This bike only has 25,443 miles. Hopefully the sun isn't affecting that too much there. And has a little wide angle view mirrors on it. And we'll go ahead and get it started up there for you so you can hear it run. And of course, fires right up. It is like I said, 2007 Honda VTX 1300. There's the stock exhaust again. Let's rev it up a little bit so you can hear it running. And there we go. It does have the big classic cruiser look, being the S model. So you have the big hooded fender on it, and the giant tail fender has a sissy bar on it already with the small luggage rack there. And that should be all of it. Now it's time for my favorite part, taking out for a ride. Okay, so this is got to be my favorite part of the arrangement of the job, as you will, getting to take the bikes out for a little test ride and doing a video along with it. As said in the walk around, this is a Honda VTX 1300. It's fully stock, and it's a quiet, smooth running machine, that's for sure. But the power is actually, there's plenty of power there, and it's really, really subtle. If you're looking for a smaller, well, not a smaller cruiser, but the small cruisers, as far as the big cruisers go, I don't know if you'd call it a big mid-range cruiser or a small big cruiser. But it is a strong pulling machine, and it is something else to ride. It's actually, surprisingly, for sitting up this far above the tank and being this exposed to the wind, there is very little wind resistance. Running 60 miles an hour. Oh, hello, grass. Running 60 miles an hour, and it's not even pulling. So that's kind of surprising coming from riding small cruisers, where whenever you're sitting this far up, you get pulled on a lot whenever you're out on the road, like on the Magnas, or even on like a little Shadow VLX 600. The wind really starts pulling against you whenever you're up to speed like this, up at highway speeds. But on this thing, it really isn't affecting it at all. You got your floorboards, and there's nothing quite like the feel of stomping on the heel toe shifter whenever you're shifting up and just stomping down on that. So I'm like, yeah, I'm hitting second, yeah, I'm hitting third. And it's the feeling that it gives. It actually gives you that big bike feel, with being a smaller, more economical bike, and being a more nimble bike. As long as you're not scrubbing the floorboards, it's plenty nimble. Don't get it wrong, it's not going to be like a sport bike, but as far as for a bigger bike goes, Honda does a great job of making these cruisers to be very nimble bikes, where you can actually go out and explore on little roads like this, where it's got tighter turns. You're not stuck just going on the interstate or going on main highways. And so this bike is really, really nice for that. I mean, just right there, I mean, they just come accelerating out of that turn from 30 to 60, and it pulls up to 60 like you don't even really notice the speed. I actually had to look down to check it, because it doesn't feel like 60 miles an hour. And that big 1300 V-twin just pulls right along like there's nothing going on. So it's very nice. And this bike is a fun one to have. I can already tell you that. I can see why so many people enjoy riding it. This is actually the first time I've been on the VTX. So the 1300 or 1800, any of them. So this is, especially since I've been on a VLX 600 here lately, this is a world of difference. And it's a nice change. Just as you can see, just going down through here, cruising along at 50, and it's just perfectly content just to dip into turns, go along. The brakes on it are good. For being such a big bike, it actually brakes very quickly. It brakes like a much smaller bike. The brakes grab really nicely. Whenever I've done the research in the past, looking at the VTXs for my own use, what I'd found was that it gets around 50 miles to the gallon. 45 to 50 miles to the gallon seemed to be the average that I found. Of course, that's going to vary with rider, but with gas prices continually skyrocketing, to know that you can get a big, comfortable bike like this. The seat is nice and wide. I'm not a big guy, I'm not a little guy, I'm somewhere in between, standing about 5'10", 200 pounds, and the seat holds me perfectly well. I wish my bike was actually had a seat this comfortable, and it just holds on to you, and there's no lack of comfort on it. And getting ready to get out onto the main highway here, and we can see how it actually does accelerating. Jam it down to the second, punch it into third, and have to let off of it. Pulls up to 60 miles an hour in second gear without straining the engine at all. So as I said, it's got plenty of power and grunt, which it should have because it is a 1300. But this bike runs very nicely. So if you're in the market looking around for a cruiser, it's not quite the big beefy monster cruisers, 1500 I guess to 2000 range now. The VTX 1300 could be a nice option. As I said, running 60 miles an hour, there is little to no wind resistance, even though you're sitting this far up above the tank. So the bike holds on to you, or the bike, Honda has done a very good job with the design to have the bike help block some of the wind, even though you're sitting this high up. And just go down another little road here before we head back to the shop and accelerate on it just to feel the power again, get a feel for it. And that's where the wind resistance is coming into it. Whenever you're accelerating hard, you get the G-forces on behind you pulling you back, or the centrifugal motion along with the wind, and then you get that resistance that you're used to feeling on a smaller bike that doesn't have a windshield. So this is a very nice bike to have. I can see why so many use it for longer rides and just for personal use. Alright, so we can take off here, get a feel for the speed again, the power and the acceleration. Jam it! And stomp it in gear again. Oh, I love that part. So, as you can tell, I don't ride a bike with a heel toe shifter very often, and that is very entertaining to me. It's just you get that feeling of, yes, I'm hitting a gear, yes, I'm hitting a gear, instead of just click, click, click. So it's very nice there, and yeah, this is a wonderful little cruiser. It's not really a little cruiser. So as I said, the VTX 1300, it's a nice mid-range, lower entry level to the big cruisers. I guess it'd be a big mid-range bike. Plenty of power, nice and comfortable bike, especially if you're not a little small, skinny person. You're big enough to actually stand up, hold the bike up, reach the ground nice and comfortably. But of course, after you get going, it doesn't really matter as long as you can reach the controls. It's all you need to be able to do. But if you're in the market for a motorcycle or thinking about it, come and see us down at Green Cycle Salvage. Or if you want to see some of the inventory we've got, you can visit us online at greencyclesalvage.com. And if you do happen to come into the shop and see the video that's helped bring you in, just let us know about it, that you saw the video, because this is something new that we're trying out, and we hope to see you real soon.